If you thought things could get any worse for Marathon, buckle up, bucko, because they just did. There's new reports going on that Sony is possibly cutting off Bungie's marketing funds for the game. Yeah, it's looking more and more like Sony has completely lost faith in what was supposed to be one of their flagship live service titles. This happened a couple days ago. I was at Retropalooza Houston this weekend, so I didn't get to talk about it. But now we're going to sit down and sink our teeth into what might be the final nail in the coffin for Bungie's Marathon, a game that was once poised to help lead Sony's 3.6 billion, that's billion with a B, dollar live service push. It's now spiraling out of control, guys. And Sony's response, they're backing away, and they're backing away fast. This is big yikes written all over it. So this article is from the gamepost.com, and it's talking about some of this news that just recently came out. Colin Moriarty, I guess, spilled the beans on his podcast about the situation going on with Marathon. And we've been covering this game for quite some time because Bungie's been under fire ever since the Marathon gameplay reveal was shown earlier this year. The reception was rough. Fans immediately noticed that there was key features missing, most notably proximity chat, something that's essential for a game that is being pitched as an extraction shooter. And why was it missing? Allegedly, it was to make things more safe and inclusive. But stripping essential mechanics in favor of optics, that's how you kill excitement before a game starts. On top of that, it just looks all around boring, uninspired, and just something that I don't want to pay $40 for when I could pay nothing to play better games. Free-to-play games on the same platforms that this is going to be on. On top of that came this internal disaster. They scrapped their own NDA for the alpha test after receiving overwhelmingly negative feedback from testers, which is a big oof, right? But the real bombshell is the plagiarism scandal that just happened. An artist on the team was caught red-handed, straight up lifting assets from another graphic designer. We made a video talking about this. That's nuts. And Bungie had to admit it publicly. They had a disaster live stream where they just could not avoid the call out. And that's not just embarrassing, guys. That's potentially fatal for a studio's reputation. So now we have this troubled game, right? We got a troubled game that has internal unrest and a plagiarism admission. What's next? Well, according to reports, Sony has canceled all paid marketing for Marathon globally. All right, there's no international ad campaigns, no promo blitz, nothing. That's basically them saying we're done here. And for a AAA game this close to its launch, that's practically unheard of. We're not talking some small indie project guys here. This is Bungie. You guys remember Bungie are the creators of Halo, one of the biggest game franchises in the world, and they also created Destiny, another huge franchise. These guys were bought by Sony for billions of dollars. Again, 3.6 billions of dollars. And now the project that was supposed to prove that investment, that $3.6 billion investment was worthwhile, is crumbling before our eyes. And let's not forget, guys, this isn't Sony's first live service misfire. Remember Concord? That thing cost them over $400 million, and it barely made it out of the gate before being shelved. It literally was like 2 weeks after launch, kaput. That game was developed by Firewalk Studios, a studio that Sony had just acquired, and guess what? They shut the entire thing down completely, and now people are starting to ask, is Bungie next? And I think signs point to yes, right? For Sony, this is deja vu in the worst way possible. And here's the thing, Bungie's internal situation isn't looking better. There was a Forbes article out there that said morale is plummeting in the company, developers are burnt out, trust from the players has eroded, and the pressure from Sony to just make it work has reached a boiling point. I would hate to be working at this company because they have a target on their back right now. And if you think Sony still has hope for this company, think again, guys. Word is, in order for Marathon to even be considered a success, it would need to rank among the top 5 best-selling games of 2025. Let me say that again for the people in the back. The top 5. For a game that has no marketing, allegedly, the ad campaign is being cut. No public trust. The gamers are just fed up with it. There's no pre-orders, and they have a stolen art scandal on top of it. That's not just a high bar. That's pretty much a fantasy at this point. It's unlikely to succeed. Honestly, what's left of this project, no one's talking about it with excitement. I haven't met one person that's genuinely excited for this. No buzz. It's just a giant meh from the gaming community. It's a lot of indifference. And that's actually probably worse than outrage, because at least outrage means people care, even if it's negative, right? If some people are indifferent and they don't care at all, you have a problem there. So it's becoming clearer and clearer by the day, guys. Sony's jumping ship. If this report is true, Sony's jumping ship. They're pulling funding. They're staying silent. And you know what that means. They see the writing on the wall. They got burned once with Concord, and now they're not about to double down on another sinking ship. And if this continues, Bungie, yes, Bungie might be facing the same fate as Firewalk. And it doesn't matter how much money was pumped into this. Plagiarism's a death sentence, and Sony doesn't want to gamble anymore, especially when there's billions of dollars on the line, 3.6 billion to be exact. And it's genuinely wild if you sit here and think that just a couple of years ago, Bungie was seen as a crown jewel in Sony's live service strategy. It was like a huge acquisition. Now it's starting to feel like Marathon won't even launch. Is this game going to launch? I doubt it. And if it does, I think it's going to be dead on arrival. And that's the vibe that I'm getting here. So here we are, guys. A once proud studio unraveling from the inside. And there's no stopping it. This game had potential, and now it's buried under mismanagement, bad decisions, and creative shortcuts. And Sony, they bet big and they bet wrong. They're losing big at this point. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. And with every new headline, every leak, every cancellation, the dream of this Sony-led live service empire that they just won't move on from, they're doubling down on it constantly. It fades a little bit more. And if this is what Marathon looks like, there might not be one going forward. This is bad. So if this report is true, again, it's all speculation, it's all rumors at this point. If they are pulling out all marketing for it, they're done. This game ain't succeeding. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. And if you're not subscribed yet, please hit that subscription button. Would love for you guys to join the 8BE Nation. And I will see you on the next one, guys. Thank you so much for watching. As always, peace out.